Why finding extraterrestrials would mark the beginning of the countdown to humanity's extinction. In 2021, a group of scientists used mathematical models to calculate a conclusion that made everyone's scalp tingle. The probability of intelligent life emerging in the universe is 1 in a quadrillion. That's harder than winning the lottery jackpot 500 times in a row. But even more terrifying, they discovered that the very existence of humanity violates the laws of physics. Because based on evolutionary timescales, Earth simply did not have enough time to produce intelligent life. Our existence itself is an accident that should never have happened. It's like someone standing unharmed at the exact epicenter of a nuclear explosion, completely unscientific. And at this very moment, in the face of 2 trillion galaxies, scientists are confronted with a dead silent universe. No responses from any civilization at all. This eerie silence has only 2 possible explanations. Either the universe holds only one winning lottery ticket, us, or every civilization that ever won eventually vanished together, after reaching a certain stage of development. The story begins in 1950. That day, physicist Enrico Fermi was having lunch with colleagues at Los Alamos National Laboratory, when he suddenly asked a question. Where is everybody? This seemingly casual remark became the ultimate mystery that has haunted humanity ever since. Consider this, our Milky Way alone contains between 200 and 400 billion stars. Each star has, on average, 1 to 2 planets. That means our galaxy alone holds at least 300 billion planets. And the observable universe contains more than 2 trillion such galaxies. Statistically speaking, even if only 1 in a trillion planets could produce intelligent life, there should still be millions of alien civilizations out there. So why do we hear only silence? Even more unsettling, scientists uncovered a time paradox. Earth formed 4.6 billion years ago, and life appeared 3.8 billion years ago, almost immediately after the planet cooled. Yet evolving from single-celled organisms to intelligent beings took a full 3.8 billion years. That process was agonizingly slow. In 1983, Australian physicist Brandon Carter made a shocking observation. He calculated that, at normal evolutionary rates, Earth simply did not have enough time to produce intelligent life. The Sun's lifespan is about 10 billion years, and Earth's habitable window is roughly 8 billion years. Intelligent life took nearly 5 billion years to emerge, already consuming more than half of Earth's available time. If any step had taken just a few 100 million years longer, humans would not exist at all. This leads to an even more terrifying question. What are evolutionary bottlenecks? Scientists have found that evolving from simple life to intelligent life requires crossing at least 7 nearly impossible barriers. The first barrier is the origin of life. In Earth's primordial oceans 3.8 billion years ago, how did inorganic matter spontaneously assemble into organic molecules, and then further form self-replicating life? To this day, scientists cannot fully reproduce this process in a laboratory. The second barrier is the emergence of photosynthesis. This occurred about 2.7 billion years ago, when cyanobacteria suddenly learned to harness sunlight for energy and release oxygen. This seemingly simple innovation took a billion years to appear, and likely happened only once. The third barrier is the birth of eukaryotic cells. Around 2 billion years ago, one bacterium engulfed another, but instead of digesting it, formed a symbiotic relationship. This accident laid the foundation for all complex life. Every cell in your body traces back to that improbable event. The fourth barrier is multicellularity. After single-celled life dominated Earth for 3 billion years, cells suddenly learned to cooperate and form complex multicellular organisms. This leap took another billion years. The fifth barrier is the Cambrian explosion. About 540 million years ago, life on Earth diversified dramatically. Within just a few million years, nearly all modern animal lineages appeared during this period. Scientists still don't know why this explosion occurred. The sixth barrier is life moving onto land. Transitioning from ocean to land required entirely new respiratory, locomotion, and sensory systems. This process took another 200 million years. The seventh, and hardest, barrier is the emergence of intelligence. From apes to humans took about 6 million years. Yet true intelligent civilization has existed for less than 10,000 years. But the most shocking discovery came from a 2021 study. An American scientist, Andrew Snyder Beatty, led a team that applied Bayesian statistical models to rigorously analyze these 7 evolutionary bottlenecks. They found that each bottleneck typically requires far more time than Earth's habitable lifespan allows. Statistically speaking, photosynthesis normally takes about 5 billion years to arise, eukaryotic cells about 10 billion years, and human-level intelligence at least 20 billion years. In other words, every evolutionary step on Earth was a desperate race against time, and each one barely crossed the finish line. by a margin of tenths of a second. This isn't good luck. It's a miracle that should not have happened. Even more terrifying was their final conclusion. In a 3-step model, 99% of parameter combinations showed less than a 1% chance that intelligent life could emerge within Earth's habitable window. In a 5-step model, the probability dropped to 1 in 1,000. In a 7-step model, it plunged to 1 in 100,000. What does this mean? It means that among 2 trillion galaxies, and countless trillions of planets in the observable universe, Earth may be the only one that successfully crossed every barrier. But here's an even more chilling question. If we are truly unique, why do we exist at all? This is where Carter introduced the anthropic principle. He argued that we can observe this universe precisely because only under such extraordinarily rare conditions can observers exist at all. It's like winning the lottery. Of course you say, I'm incredibly lucky. But in all the parallel universes where you didn't win, there is no you to say anything. Our existence itself proves that we stand at the very peak of a probability pyramid. But this explanation leads to an even darker implication. If intelligent life is truly that rare, then the Fermi Paradox already has an answer. The universe is silent not because aliens refuse to contact us, but because there are no aliens. We are the only species to ever evolve intelligence, drifting alone through endless darkness. But wait, remember the opening question? Why would finding extraterrestrial life be bad news? Because there is another possibility, the Great Filter. This theory suggests that along the path from simple life to an interstellar civilization, there exists one or more nearly insurmountable obstacles, the Great Filter. If the filter lies behind us, it means we have already passed the hardest test, and the future is relatively safe. But if the filter lies ahead, then it means all civilizations inevitably collapse at some stage of development. Think about it. If we discover extraterrestrial life that has already evolved into multicellular organisms, or even simple animals, what does that imply? It means that the transition from single-cell to multicellular life was not the fatal filter. The filter must still be waiting for us ahead. It could be nuclear war, climate collapse, runaway artificial intelligence, or some cosmic catastrophe we cannot even imagine. In 2024, a research team at Oxford University proposed an even darker theory. They argue that all sufficiently advanced civilizations fall into a technological trap. As civilizations gain powerful technologies, nuclear energy, genetic engineering, artificial intelligence, they simultaneously gain the ability to destroy themselves. And that destructive power grows exponentially. Today, building a nuclear weapon requires a nation-state. But perhaps in 50 years, a single person could synthesize a city-destroying virus at home. In 100 years, a rogue AI might wipe out an entire civilization overnight. The more advanced technology becomes, the higher the risk of self-destruction. And that risk grows exponentially, not linearly. Even more despairing, scientists estimate that a civilization's extinction window may last only a few hundred years. From the Industrial Revolution to today, human civilization has existed for just over 200 years. We already possess nuclear weapons capable of destroying Earth multiple times, chemicals that damage the ozone layer, and carbon emissions driving climate collapse. Yet our wisdom has not kept pace with our technology. We still fight over resources, wage wars over ideology, and sacrifice the future for short-term gains. If civilizations on other planets face the same challenges, the answer becomes painfully clear. Perhaps countless civilizations once flickered across the universe, but all destroyed themselves before mastering interstellar travel. This is the darkest answer to the Fermi Paradox. The universe is silent not because life never existed, but because all life died on the road to prosperity, and we are now walking that same road. Every day could be the final day of human civilization. We don't know how the filter will appear. It could be tomorrow's nuclear war, AI gone rogue in 10 years, ecological collapse in 50, or a technological disaster beyond our imagination in a century. Yet not all scientists agree. In early 2025, a research team at Penn State University offered a more optimistic view. They argue that intelligent life on Earth was not pure chance, but a natural outcome of planetary evolution. Their research suggests that Earth underwent long geological processes, changes in atmospheric composition, rising oxygen levels, that gradually prepared the conditions for complex life. In other words, life did not wait 4 billion years. Earth needed 4 billion years to become ready for life. If this theory is correct, then once planetary conditions mature, intelligent life may emerge naturally, greatly increasing the odds. But regardless of which theory is right, one thing is certain. We are standing at a critical crossroads. To the left lies continued progress, along with the risk of self-destruction. To the right lies abandoning development and exploration. clinging to this small planet, until the sun eventually consumes us. Our only real option is to become wiser, not technologically wiser, but wiser as a civilization. We must learn to control our desires, to plan for the long-term future, and to cooperate on a global scale, because perhaps this is the true great filter, not technology, but wisdom itself. Can a civilization acquire the power to destroy itself, before it acquires the wisdom to protect itself? So when you look up at the night sky, and see endless darkness and silence, what you should feel is not loneliness, but an immense weight of responsibility, because in this vast universe, we may be the only beings capable of understanding it. If we disappear, the universe may sink back into billions of years of darkness, until another lucky species emerges, or perhaps none ever will. That is the ultimate meaning of the Fermi Paradox. It is not asking where the aliens are, it is asking whether we can become the exception, the civilization that breaks through the great filter, and truly reaches the stars, or whether we too will become just another silent footnote in the universe's eternal quiet.